The Federal Reserve Cartel, who owns the Federal Reserve? They are the Goldman Sachs, Rockefellers, Lehmans and Kuhn Loebs of New York, the Rothschilds of Paris and London, the Warburgs of Hamburg, the Lazards of Paris, and the Israel Moses Safes of Rome. CPA Thomas D. Schauf corroborates McAllister's claims, adding that 10 banks control all 12 Federal Reserve Bank branches. He names N.M. Rothschild of London, Rothschild Bank of Berlin, Warburg Bank of Hamburg, Warburg Bank of Amsterdam, Lehman Brothers of New York, Lazard Brothers of Paris, Kuhn Loeb Bank of New York, Israel Moses Safe Bank of Italy, Goldman Sachs of New York and J.P. Morgan Chase Bank of New York. Schauf lists William Rockefeller, Paul Warburg, Jacob Schiff and James Stillman as individuals who own large shares of the Fed. The Schiffs are insiders at Kuhn Loeb. The Stillmans are Citigroup insiders, who married into the Rockefeller clan at the turn of the century. Eustace Mullins came to the same conclusions in his book The Secrets of the Federal Reserve, in which he displays charts connecting the Fed and its member banks to the families of Rothschild, Warburg, Rockefeller and the others. The control that these banking families exert over the global economy cannot be overstated and is quite intentionally shrouded in secrecy. Their corporate media arm is quick to discredit any information exposing this private central banking cartel as conspiracy theory. Yet the facts remain. The House of Morgan story. The Federal Reserve Bank was born in 1913, the same year U.S. banking giant J. Pierpont Morgan died and the Rockefeller Foundation was formed. The House of Morgan presided over American finance from the corner of Wall Street and Broad, acting as quasi-U.S. central bank since 1838, when George Peabody founded it in London. The Federal Reserve Cartel, who owns the Federal Reserve? Peabody was a business associate of the Rothschilds. In 1952, Fed researcher Eustace Mullins put forth the supposition that the Morgans were nothing more than Rothschild agents. Mullins wrote that the Rothschilds preferred to operate anonymously in the U.S. behind the facade of J.P. Morgan and Company. Author Gabriel Kolko stated, Morgan's activities in 1895-1896 in selling U.S. gold bonds in Europe were based on an alliance with the House of Rothschild. The Morgan financial octopus wrapped its tentacles quickly around the globe. Morgan Grenfell operated in London. Morgan Ezio ruled Paris. The Rothschilds' Lambert cousins set up Drexel and Company in Philadelphia. What is the matrix control system? The matrix control system is a voracious system in which we, humans, are targeted by manipulatory forces and paraphysical entities looking for ways to enslave us on a spiritual level, and feed off our energy. The main victims of the matrix and the hostile beings behind it are the people, who are imprisoned in their own minds, allowing their weaknesses to take over and not being able to transcend. Here's how it all works. Many people live in a hypnotic dream, not managing to fully understand the world around them and their place in it. They allow things such as fear, anxiety, perverted sexual thoughts, materialism, negative emotions, emotional numbness, or ignorance take over their souls and minds. This brings them into a state of vulnerability. Their forces of the HMS sense the negative energy these humans emit. They target the weak and ignorant humans and use their negative energy as food. In other words, those hostile beings are able to not only use the negative energy we already emit but to induce it as well. How do we become the victims of the matrix control system? The manipulatory forces of the matrix control system are able to reach us, and harvest our energy to make themselves stronger. They are able to influence our consciousness and to encourage temptations, addictions, illnesses, perverted thoughts, anger, suffering. Once they manage to provoke these negative energies, they harvest them and use the energetic output to make themselves stronger. The negative emotions are often set off by radical ideologies such as nationalism, racism, sexism, religious preconceptions, etc. People surrounding the targeted person who are easily manipulated and turned into puppets. How to transcend it? Not every human being is the direct victim of the Matrix. We are all potential targets, but some of us are mentally and spiritually stronger than the rest and manage to avoid becoming the food of predators. In order for you to transcend their Matrix and save yourself from becoming their food, you need to acquire a deep understanding of what the Matrix is. Free yourself from fear and anxiety. Work on becoming spiritually pure and mentally strong. Develop your soul. Become an aware, awakened, open-minded, and self-confident being, and you leave no room for parasitic entities to enter your energy realm. Remove yourself from ignorance and the hypnotic state they want you to be in, and continue working on becoming a stronger individual every day.